Kani kadai ke Batisi TV, bat pidang pet ya ke kubur baman kasni, belawan rasa pi da ke rupa, ringkat bat ke orange Nissan, lom sokpo near Fire Brigade Shillong.
New Nissan Kicks. Bookings open now.
Ka Confederation of Meghalaya Social Organisation haka arp kendai tarik urisau arajar kat kendai kala Ïakynduh kerpang yau Nongïalam ka Liang Pyrshah jong ka ying dorbar thawan ke jela u Dr. Mukul Sangma da ka bakentu bon ai jing kersyan yakani ka kenhon ka bala dawa ya ka sorkar jela bakan penrung yaki kendon jong ka airline permit haka ain Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act arajar kat nriu ya ka baka sorkar jela dangshen kala penbena bahkan sa simbiang ya karai ka bakhaddu Halor kani haka jingyalang jong ka kenhun menteri ka ban salong shen Nongïalam ka Liang Pyrshah Dr. Mukul Sangma haka jingi keren bat gilat patai kubor hadin ka jingi Ïakynduh yaki Nongïalam jong ka Comso ulaong baka ain Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act arajar kan rio kadai ka bakham klan shushu ban ya ka airline permit bat ulaong ru baka sorkar kala dai ban pentrekam no mardor yakani ka ain ka ban khangla di ka jingwan tu kertep gi mender syakani ka jela Meghalaya.
Now, if you go by the whole mandate of the Principal Act, the Act having been meticulously formatted based on the exhaustive discussion and deliberation, keeping in mind all the concerns of the people in as far as the safety and security of the state and people are concerned. Now, the issue always has been how we insulate our residents from various unforeseen challenges in respect of safety and security. And we, particularly in the northeastern region, have always had the concern about the illegal immigration and influx. Now, the illegal immigration issue is not confined to our nation. It is also an issue across the globe. Even the countries which have most stringent immigration laws have ultimately faltered and have found that they need to do more. Whether you speak about the United States of America or whether you are speaking about other European nations or even United Kingdom for that matter, they have been actually having this issue of uncontrolled illegal immigration, and they have been finding ways and means to have appropriate or right kind of legislative mandate to deal with this. Keeping in mind these challenges that the whole world is facing as a nation and for us as a nation and as a state in our given federal structure, we felt it necessary that we have this law. Now today's discussion revolved around the possibility of further incorporating certain clauses which can give more teeth to the law that has been already passed and which is already notified. After an exhaustive long-run discussion, I have shared with them that it is time now to urge the government to immediately implement the mandate of the law. Proceed ahead. And as we proceed with the implementation of the mandate of this law, any further amendment for improvement or further strengthening the mandate of the law can be always looked at. Every law which is passed is eligible for amendment. Even the constitution is eligible for amendment. So having gone through the whole long run exercise for a long time involving all the stakeholders, all the civil society organizations, and having looked at the purpose which we want to achieve, we see that this Principal Act can achieve the purpose, the objective. The objective of ensuring that every resident is aware of who is staying in his own neighborhood. It is not just the issue of illegal immigrants, it's also an issue of a criminal staying in your own neighborhood. There has been instances where people were surprised when criminals were somehow apprehended from their own neighborhood. It has happened in Delhi, it has happened in Shillong, it has happened in Tura. So this is what happens. Therefore, to be able to know who the residents are in your own backyard, in your own locality, that is very important for any citizen. And by doing so, you are actually able to really insulate the locality from the likelihood of infiltration by any unwanted elements, whether illegal immigrants or criminals. Therefore, the overall concerns of the people has been to a great extent covered by this law. It has got quite a broad coverage. And if you look at different sections, particularly the section 17, 18, you will see again how it actually empowers the state, the authorities, to really filter the incoming visitors from any likelihood of other infiltrating, the illegal immigrants or the criminals infiltrating. And at the same time, allows the local authorities a real empowerment through the mandate of law. If you look at these relevant sections of this Principal Act, you will see that in addition to the local police authorities, you also have the mandated responsibility, mandated through this law, empowered through this law, the local authorities, which are a traditional institution. So, in a way, this law also has empowered our traditional institutions through the mandate of this law. And that is something which has not been there in as far as the law enacted by the state government. And that's why there has been a situation where the authorities were at one point of time questioned for not being mandated by an act of law. So today, this act also has, with this whole act of law, empowered the traditional institution. And it's time to actually operationalize the mandate of this act, and that is what we have discussed today. And look at how further amendment to ensure achievement or realization of the objectives in totality can be looked at in course of the implementation through any further amendment which may be felt needed, if at all. We were made to understand that the government wants to engage with all the political parties. Now, when that happens, we will put across our suggestions, and these suggestions will not deviate from what we are saying now, because this is a culmination of an exhaustive exercise involving all the stakeholders, keeping in mind all the other aspects. Because when you are looking at any law to be enacted under our given federal system, you have the parliament, you have the state legislature. Now, what is the mandate, legislative mandate for the state legislature? Are you proposing legislation which goes beyond the legislative mandate for the state legislature, or you are confining? You have to see all those things. It's important for any legislative exercise to be seen from this perspective, because the moment any clause is incorporated in any law which can be interpreted as something which is beyond the legislative jurisdiction of the state legislature, then it will not be able to withstand the whole judicial scrutiny. And that is the most important part which we have considered while formatting this whole Principal Act before even bringing or tabling before the August House. That's why there was no hiccup for getting the assent from the governor, and therefore you have the Principal Act now operational. You have to operationalize it. If you go through the Principal Act, you will see, if you become analytical, para-wise, section-wise, then you will see that this particular act actually covers areas which can be taken care of. And therefore, its effectivity is can be seen as something which is not limited to what ILP can do, because if you look at the entry facilitation centers, if you look at the subsections, you will see that rules can be framed based on what is considered as necessary to achieve the objective of the Principal Act. And therefore, how you do it. And rules need not be framed now and will remain sacrosanct forever. Rules can be amended. You need not amend the Principal Act. You can actually frame the rule. You can improve the rule. You can amend the rule. Because the whole mandate of the Principal Act say that, okay, as may be required from time to time. What does it mean? That means you will still have the scope to amend the rules as you implement. When you want to implement a mandate of the law, you have the rules. You have to frame the rules, and then you can always amend the rules. You can always improve the rule within the mandate of the law. If that provision does not cover, then only you will look for further amendment. But as of now, it provides huge scope for incorporating any kind of rule. Our discussion ultimately culminated in indicating that those genuine concerns can be covered by the mandate of this Principal Act, because this Principal Act provides relevant provisions under the relevant sections and subsections, and also provides further space through the rules